Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bars Empire Podcast. I'm your host, Elizabeth. So today we're going to talk about credit. Yes, it's really credit is kind of we dread credit because sometimes we don't understand the credit and we don't understand why we don't get approved for that loan or for personal reasons like for to buy a car, to get a house, or why we get the highest interest. Okay, so how can you who can relate that you feel like your own credit score is against you? No matter how you try, and it's always against you. Sometimes I feel that way, don't worry. But we're gonna flip the script here. We're gonna leverage that credit and make it work for us. We're not gonna say I cannot get approved. We're gonna say I'm gonna get approved because I need that loan from a business, or I need that credit card from a business, or I need the house. I want to buy the house for me for my personal credit. Okay, so even if it's personal or business, we are gonna flip that script. Like we're gonna think like CEOs now. We're gonna wear that crown, and we're gonna reclaim what our business or personal credit needs. We have still had to figure out how the system works. How the system works. How we can get that better score that we need for our personal lives or business. How we're not gonna, as a CEO, we're not gonna run from our credit score. We're gonna grab it and we're gonna leverage it and we're gonna fix it. Like it's like fixing a car. It takes a while. It takes a couple. Fixing a car could take a couple weeks, but it takes parts to everything. Let's say we're gonna use that credit as building our own dream car, finding the right parts of that car, because credit takes time to fix. It's not overnight. Like I tell my clients, we had to work on basically on looking what is affecting our credit score. So we start. What was the reason we start our business? Like I talked in the last two episodes, the reason why we start a business. What does that business mean to you? Freedom, stop living paycheck by paycheck, get that dream for of your business of that business that you always want to have. So let's try not to avoid our credit. Who who is afraid sometimes of checking their mail? Just me. Sometimes I am. Because sometimes what I have heard, unfortunately, we get sued because we don't pay our credit cards on time. It's not because we don't want to. It's not because we don't feel like paying. Because sometimes if life happens. You get laid off, you get fired, or you have an accident. And unfortunately, the savings that you have is not for to pay your credit cards. Is to have for rent, to pay your bills. And yeah, a little bit, whatever is left, you could pay your credit cards. But interest kills you. High interest kills you. So missing payments, that kills your credit. Collection, it makes it worse. Because when you go to a bank and you say, "Oh, I want a loan for business or personal reasons," they're gonna look at your credit score and they're gonna say, "Wait, miss, sir, you got too much payments on your credit score. You had too much late payments. You got a lot of debt. How are you gonna pay me?" And unfortunately, we get discouraged. We lose that confidence. We feel embarrassed, unfortunately. We're not here to judge because everybody's in the same boat. Unfortunately, sometimes, yeah, we misunderstand sometimes our credit. We mix our personal and business together and we make a huge salad that we're not supposed to do. We mess up our everything just to make our business survive. And we are not in a surviving mode anymore. We are in a CEO mode. We're gonna make that to make a better judgment, better decisions. So let's say one question before we go into a little more about explaining about personal and business. What would you change or what would you add in your business if you have $25,000? Will you use it for marketing to hire more more teams for your team? Invest, buying more business or franchise your business. What will you do? Think about that. And let's switch the script for personal. If you had that money, will you pay all your debts? Will you invest in properties? Or will you save that money? So let's think about that. Let's think about that. So let's think, like I was saying, credit is like you're building a dream car. Sometimes you're missing parts that you don't know where they come from. But sometimes it's supposed to run, but somehow it stops running. Something happens, right? So let's talk about first person. Okay. Personal is divided by the FICO score. Like everybody knows the magic number, 850. And the worst number is 300 or zero if you start from zero. Basically, that means you never open a credit card, you never had a loan, nothing, right? Remember, there's good credit and bad credit in your account. Mortgage, car, that means is some way a good credit, but that means you're paying something. You're on time. Because if you don't pay your mortgage on time, then that you're in trouble. Because there's a huge possibility that you might lose your house. Or if you stop paying for your insurance or for your car, there's a huge possibility that your car is gonna get they're gonna take away your car. So let's let's look at it like this. If there's a lot of factors in your credit score, payment history, amounts that you owe, the length of your credit history, mix of new and old credit cards, and the three bureaus that actually look is Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. Those are the major credit bureaus that tell your life, basically everything. When you're applying for a new apartment, or you're applying for a loan, or you're applying for that mortgage, that those three tells basically all your secrets, good and bad. They are the worst, because they tell you everything. They basically shows you everything about how you are managing money, managing your debt. If you don't know how to manage your debt and manage your money, we're in a crisis. And if you are not, and you debt is like a snowball. More you pile on it, we wish it will melt, but it won't melt. It will roll from that mountain and it will crash completely. So you guys need to know that. You need to know what's your credit score. Why you had that huge debt? Why you bought a new car? You match your credit cards. You own alone. You max your credit card. Just try to remember you cannot go over 30% of your credit cards. Because if you do, like I was saying before, you gotta remember, you gotta put this in your mind. What if something happens to me? How am I gonna pay everything? Do I have a savings? Do I have emergency funds on it? Unfortunately, not a lot of people do. And when we do have emergency fund, unfortunately, emergency happens and they're gone. It goes quickly. And where we go to? Credit cards. What we use? Credit cards and loans. And that makes it much complicated for us to for us because we are destroying our credit. We're destroying our credit. All right. So the famous words, how you create credit for a business. If you're a business owner and you're just starting, brand new, or thinking, start your own business, and you want to have those loans, or you want to start opening your credit cards. So it's similar to your personal credit, but they're different bureaus. They're different bureaus. There's Dun and Bradstreet. You had to open an account with them. That is a must because if you don't have that, then you will not know your credit score. You need to have that Dun and Bradstreet account. Pay debts, experience, Equifax. Pay debts is Dun and Bradstreet. So it's like way different from your credit score because the highest for us is 850 for personal. But for credit, for business credit is 100. That's the best credit score you could get. And if it's lower than that, means you own too much debt. That means you took out too much and you use way too much of your credit, or you are in risk of damaging your business credit. Try to use the net 30s if you guys starting out, or secure card. Like personal. And personal also, personal use secure card. That's how you build your credit. If you are or fixing your credit because you damages so much for debts and loans and student loans and everything. So try to use a secure card. With secure card helps you man how to manage your money a little bit more, and it makes you mindful that you only have a limit, and if you go overboard, then basically you're already damaging your credit. So try not to miss any payments. It goes both ways, person and business. Pay your bills on time because that's the critical thing. If you don't pay on time, you may miss it by 2, 3 days. They already send you email. It's gonna affect your credit score. Unfortunately, it will. And then you're wondering why my credit score went down. I see it like our credit score is like losing weight. When but in this sample, gaining weight is is good because your credit score needs to go up. If you lose a lot, that means you won't get nothing. Basically, you're starting from zero, but with a lot of debt, with a lot of late payments. So try and make sure you don't use it more than 30%. A lot of people, you have a thousand limit. Try not to go over that thousand limit. Because if you do, you pay more for what you're buying. Is you buying something really cheap and literally you buying it for more. So and monitor your credit. What I do with my clients, we always double check their credit. Why? Because you move, they have your old address. Or we want to know what is hurting your credit score. Is that because you missed a payment or because you have a small or big debt? So, or you opening too much credit cards and you're getting denied and you need to know why. So with my clients, we basically have a strategy. We work on a strategy. We figure out exactly what's going on for business or personal. We both do that, but we just do the strategy a little bit different. So with personal, we just try to figure out why you have so much late payments. Why? What's your? It depends on your work, right? Personal, it depends on your work, paychecks, and everything. How you're having, you need to have a system, basically, right? If I get paid, let's say 1,500 every 2 weeks, right? What I'm gonna do that? Not spend it, not spend it. How are we gonna save it? How we gonna divide that money, right? Because remember, it goes through for rent, utilities means light and gas, phone bill, internet bill, cable, credit cards, loans, and food and splurging, right? Subscriptions. Those subscriptions kills everybody. It hurts your pocket a lot. So we need to know how to divide that. Every paycheck, we need to leverage it. And business owners, okay, we need to get paid. We need to separate our payments. LLC, S Corp, we need to make that because we're not a W-2 anymore. We are not, we're self-employed. So if a client pays us, then what are we gonna do with it? Are gonna reinvest in our business? First of all, if you got employees, you gotta pay employees. Marketing, advertisement, that supplies. So if that client pays you, you need to divide it, make a chart, make sure what you need to pay every month, every week, or bi-weekly, depends how you pay your employees. Then you have to have a budget. That's what you need to have, a budget. Because without a budget, it's gonna be chaos. You need to have a budget, not for business only, but personal, right? Personal, we have our 9 to 5 jobs. We have, we receive pensions. We receive our Social Security every month. So we need to know how much we make. We need to know those numbers. Without those numbers, we are basically lost. It's like a GPS without a destination. That's how your credit is. Your credit is your destination on opening doors for your business and personal. Because for business, bigger loans, better credit cards, better opportunities for everything. Unfortunately, a business, a credit score, and those bureaus is it could hurt you or it could really leverage you because those are the worst. They tell you everything, your whole personal life. They will tell you how good you're good in payments, how bad you're in payments, or you overspend too much. So let's think like a CEO. Let's make sure our business is a business, not a hobby business. That we're gonna leave it whenever we want to, pick it up when we want to. That's how your credit score is. Don't abandon it. Don't ruin it. Because without your credit score, having good credit score, it closes doors. You lose opportunities on it. We need to know how to leverage it. So you need first for business owners, if you are brand new starting from zero, okay, you need to have a registered business, meaning your EIN. All business owners, we have our EIN from the IRS, right? So that means with your EIN, that means you're registered already. That means you have a business, not a hobby. Okay? You had to incorporate your business. Means you got to separate personal and personal and business. You cannot mix your fundings. I see a lot of my clients sometimes because they don't know how to open a bank account. You don't have to go to big banks. You could go to an online banks. They some of them make you have a small portion deposit. You don't have to have a huge amount to deposit. So that's a good thing. So, but just try to keep it open. Try not to make your accounts close. So because if you don't have a business account, how do you know how much money you're making? How do you know where your money is going? As a business owner, we need to know. We need to know where our business is leaking because we need to know where the money is going to. Let's say for taxes, that's what I'm going to talk about in the next other episodes. You need to know how much you made. What if you get audited? How are you going to prove that you just bought a $800 computer, a 600 printer? You just bought a new phone for business only. You're paying your employees payroll. How you gonna prove that? I see a lot of my clients, they get audited. They come, oh, I got audited. Well, yeah, because you don't have proof. Let, let's say you do get money back. That's like one out of, let's say 1,000, right? Percentage, right? That's a little bit exaggerated. Because as business owner, we end up paying if we don't have dependents, right? We end up paying. But the thing is that we pay a lot of money because we don't know how to manage taxes well, and we don't know how to give pay an estimate payments for the IRS to get every month for us to get that money that a small portion back. That I'm gonna talk about episode. I don't want to get that into it, but if you do get audited or you're paying too much, then we need to figure out how. We need to figure out why. Why you owe too much for that IRS? If you spend a lot of money, why are you losing money? So that's the reason you need to have a business account. You need to monitor your account, your credit. Open the net 30 accounts. You purchase goods, service. Some of them will help you and they won't charge you until 30 days. Some of them you need to do research. You need to find out what exactly is the accounts that let you pay after 30 days. Avoid those common mistakes, like I was saying, ignoring late payments. One late payment, your credit score goes down. Goes for business and personal. Maxing out your credit cards. I know as a business owner, we max out a lot because we had to sustain our business. We Unfortunately, it's like our business is like a roller coaster. We have a good good ride, and then I don't know where we drop because business gets slow. So we always had to have a backup plan. If we use credit cards just to cover supplies, is cover expenses. It's like personal also. So try not to use much your credit cards. Use cash. Use cash. It hurts more because it comes out of your pocket. It hurts more. Plastic doesn't, because you have that in your mind. Oh, I'll pay it later. I'll I'll get that new phone. I'll get that new computer. I'll pay for that later. Interest kills you. Those interests, it hurts your credit. Co-signing a loan makes you responsible for debt also. So if you decide to do co-signing, it doesn't only affect you, it affects the co-signer also. Because if you forget to pay, they had to pay. So try not to lose track of everything. Keep everything in Excel sheets, QuickBooks. There's a lot of ways. If you guys don't have an accountant, look for one. Look for an accountant. It helps you look for your numbers. If just business wise, look for a coach, somebody that will mentor you, that will tell you this is where your money is going to. It could be personal or business, or it could be both. It could be both because your personal and your business collides, right? It collides. Different numbers, but it collides because it's your business. It's yours. Personal also. Okay. So, and don't ignore those credit reports. Always monitor your credit score. Always check if there's no mistakes on it. Your identity didn't get stolen. Because it happens. A lot of my clients, we double check for that reason because we don't, we want to prevent for you paying something that you didn't buy or you didn't get. Because somebody just double copy your debit card or your credit card. Always try to get a secure business loan using your business credit to obtain loans, to make expansion. Have a There's a lot of pitch competitions. Use that, leverage that to get that money for your business. And also have a business plan for you to have a loan. Because without a business plan, while marketing, you're not gonna get that loan. Because that's what the first thing they will see is your business plan. It's like I was saying in the first two episodes. While having a structure in your business, you're not you don't have a business. You have a hobby. You have a hobby because there's no marketing research. There's nothing. You don't even know your own credit score. You can you don't even know how to get a loan, how to get anything that your business needs. The business needs you. And for you not to, because that's why a lot of business owner fail after 4 or 5 years. Not because they don't want to, they don't work hard, or because they are not good at their what they do. No, it's because they don't have structure. They don't have a plan. Most of us go blind and just create a business. We need to have a plan. We need to have a GPS because without a GPS, guys, you are not gonna have no business. You are not gonna have nothing. You're just gonna end up with a hobby that's not producing. And a lot of business, yeah, we're gonna have our highs and lows. We're gonna have cash flows. Sometimes we're gonna have more loss than gains, but that's fine. All right, guys. That's all for today. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share this video for somebody that needs a little bit more of credit. I'm gonna go over a little bit more about credit in my other episodes. I'm gonna talk about taxes. Next episode, I'm gonna talk about mixture of financial, about every finance, meaning how savings, emergency funds, retirements, all the good stuff we need. The 401k, all the good stuff that everybody needs. And don't forget, check your credit, business and personal. Don't mix it. Don't mix it. And you guys, thank you for everything. And if you need any coaching, any help, I'm here to help you guys. This is a space where we're going to learn. We are going to change our mentality, and we're going to be CEO, our own business. We are reclaiming our throne. Okay, guys? We are reclaiming what is ours. We're going to leverage it. We're going to build that dream car that we always wanted. We will build that dream business that we always wanted. All right, guys? All right, CEOs? See you next time, and have a great and amazing week. And I'll see you soon. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And if you guys need more help, I'm gonna have my school soon. That's gonna be in a few weeks. You need coaching, just comment, and we will talk one-on-one, and we'll make your business grow. You will make that credit score go up. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful week. Rise and reclaim.